One thing I think has been amazing in terms of improving language learning opportunities has been the arrival of the smartphone and the tablet. Not only because you can access materials such as documents you may have, ebooks, or just the internet from your device, but also because there's been a huge explosion of apps that are really, really good for language learning. Your device itself, the fact that you can use touch screen, the fact that you can record yourself, video, audio, all that in itself is a great resource. But also there are lots of apps, like I was saying. So we have apps that have been developed specifically for language learning, such as language-specific apps. There's some really good ones, such as Duolingo or Busuu, Rosetta Stone. There's very well-known names out there. And there's also apps that cover just one function. So there may be apps to practice listening, apps to do grammar. A lot of my students use flashcard apps, so they can try to memorize vocabulary with them. A whole lot of stuff you can find. As well as language learning apps, there are loads of apps that you can use that were not designed specifically for language learning, but are really useful to the language learner. The apps from newspapers and radio stations, TV stations in the language that you're trying to learn obviously will offer a lot of content. There are podcasts that you can find in the language you're trying to learn. And then there's of course translation apps. A lot of my students use translation apps, sometimes also for their assignments, which I'm not so happy about. But they will give you a good idea, they can help with vocabulary, and they will give you something that you can then work on to produce a better piece of work. One thing that I really like as well is you can use apps to communicate with others. So apart from the obvious, WhatsApp or your messaging service, there's Skype or FaceTime where you can engage in communication with someone in the target language, in the language you're learning about. And of course, the really, really good thing about this is you carry it in your pocket. It's a little small device that you just carry with you at all times. In the past, if you wanted a software to learn a language, you bought one piece of software and they were expensive and you could only buy one and install it maybe in a computer lab or something like that. Now apps are very cheap or free, and so you can have a lot of apps to do different things. So you can have the flashcard app, the language learning app, the grammar drilling app, the translator app, the dictionary app, the news app. And the beauty of that is that you can combine the use of all those to tailor your language learning experience to what you need when you need it, when it's useful to you, any time of day, anywhere. So really it's like a language lab in your pocket.